Ryan Garcia topples Devin Haney, takes his O in stunning fashion. CombatTalk.fm, my name is Leicester. To refresh folks, the podcast, as in the weekly, is on hiatus. I will not be doing it. I'll still do these one-offs on the YouTube side. For things where I want to just share an opinion, that's really different. I was thinking about doing it through the podcast feed, but it's easier just to do it straight to the video to just provide a quick update. Because if you didn't see the fight because you damn sure wasn't going to pay $70 for the pay-per-view, there's a shocking outcome. I think it was shocking. I'm going to tell you why I think it was shocking. That's what this is for. First of all, I think most people felt that Devin Haney was much more skilled than Ryan Garcia. A lot of people saw Ryan Garcia's craziness on social media, assumed he might have lost his mind, been off his rocker. The whole fallout with Oscar De La Hoya, the fallout with B-Hop and everything else made people believe that Ryan was going to get, if not dominated, he was going to get beat by Devin. And of course, there's other things. Devin Haney's performance against Regis Prograis, which was a masterclass when he won the WBC. And then how Ryan was able to get beaten by Tank Davis. You put all that together, and it gave people kind of a mental narrative about how the fight should go, which is that Devin Haney is much more skilled. I'm going to tell you, from my lens, Devin Haney is still more skilled than Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia he's an awkward, imprecise fighter. Kind of like a drunken master. He reminds me, as he's fighting now, he reminds me of the kinds of things that Nassim Hamed was doing against Kevin Kelly. He reminds me of that kind of not exact, but his tactics. What he's doing is all sorts of tactics to try to catch you with a shot you don't see. Devin Haney was getting caught with shots he didn't see coming. In some cases, he was exchanging with Ryan, which made no damn sense because Devin Haney has never been an exchange fighter. He's not a power puncher. And I think maybe his fight with Prograis gave him a little bit too much confidence. But there was one thing that stood out, and that is that it felt like Team Haney underestimated the speed of Ryan Garcia. When you watched Ryan against Tank, Ryan really only had one round where he was dominant, and in that round, he got dropped. Tank made an adjustment right midstream and dropped him. Ryan was never the same since, and then you saw Tank basically be in the matrix in there, ducking and dodging every single shot, until he eventually got him with the body shot that took him out. It almost felt like Devin Haney was doing the same strategy. It felt like he thought he could go in there and do the same thing, because I saw very similar inklings of that fight, and I don't know why that made sense. Now, Devin Haney got dropped 3 times in this fight, and I saw that Devin was going down a little bit too damn easy for my taste. Should have been 5 knockdowns, if we're honest with ourselves. The ref called 2 of them slips. That's what it is, even though one of them landed off a punch. The point is, it felt like he was going down a little bit too easy, right on the bang on the chin. His face was all jacked up after the fight, so we knew Devin Haney was getting tagged at will by this dude. His evasion wasn't working. His blocking damn sure wasn't working. And again, you saw him try, but I think it was just the speed. It felt like they underestimated this guy's speed. And power, yes, but I'm saying power doesn't mean shit if you can dodge it, as Tank taught everybody. Regis Prograis didn't have fucking try, which is what my beef was with him against Devin Haney. Regis didn't even fucking try. He wasn't even trying to go after Devin when I felt like he could have done more. This is what I'm talking about. Ryan did more. Now, here's my beef on the Ryan side. Times where Ryan would turn his back, that's actually against the law, the rules. You're not supposed to do that, and he was doing that all the time to lure Devin into a false sense. Lure him into a false sense and clip him with something, and it was effective. He was getting wobbled. When he would turn around and nail Devin would get wobbled, but you're not allowed to turn your back like that and have multiple times. Now, the interesting thing is that the ref didn't seem to really want to officiate the fight straight down the middle, because there were times when he was leaning towards Devin Haney, and then there was times when he was giving Ryan a pass, and I think everything was just going so quick at points that he just said, screw it, whatever, let these kids just have at it. That's my read on it. Devin Haney was doing a lot of clinching, which I expect is Devin Haney. The thing that got me is it felt like he was leaning on the clinch as if to tire Ryan down, because he wanted to get in and kind of wear him down. So that means, if I'm right, that they knew about the speed, obviously. But if that's your strategy to deal with the speed, is to just clinch him and wear him down like a Tyson Fury, I want to remind people, and the reason I was pissed off, and it was one of the catalysts for me stopping this podcast, is Ryan Garcia came in freaking bloated. He's essentially a welterweight draining down at this point. So he came out with a weight advantage. Devin Haney's team could use that as an excuse and say, well, he outsized us, he outweighed us. Devin Haney's still the champ because he missed weight on the scale. Devin Haney kept the WBC title. As the eyes see, he doesn't really deserve that damn belt because, again, Regis Prograis basically sold the shit, gave it away because he didn't try. Regis Prograis could have done what you just saw Ryan Garcia do, but Regis Prograis didn't even damn fucking try in there. And as a result, Devin Haney got a belt that, from the lens, he doesn't really deserve because he just got completely dominated by Ryan Garcia. The same Ryan Garcia who got beat down and stopped by Tank Davis. So now, the world has to stop this narrative of a dream fight, no pun intended, between Tank and Devin Haney. We got to stop that. We already know who has earned Floyd's love. It's Tank Davis now. We're not going to talk about Shakur Stevenson after what he did with Dos Santos. He's not on the level either. He's a skilled fighter, but he doesn't show up, and that would be a horrible fight if you think about it. Shakur against, Rolly called it out. Shakur, you can't put that guy on pay-per-view. So you're not going to see, let's hope not, Shakur in there against the Ryan Garcia, because I think the same thing happens to Shakur. And I think Shakur is defensively brilliant, but we thought Devin Haney was defensively brilliant. We saw what happened. People call back to Linares and how Linares had him wobbled and then, gestured for him to go back to the corner. Yeah, but see, the difference there is that Linares planted and threw. It wasn't like just awkward punches from different angles, which I think bamboozled the Haney team, and that surprises me because he's got experience fighting Ryan in the AMs. He fought him 3 times in the AMs. This broke the tie. They had 3 wins each. This broke the tie. So he had experience and he saw it. It's not like Ryan had significant improvement from that point. So Devin Haney takes his first L. Where does he go from here? After that beatdown, physical beatdown, it was a physical beatdown. He's going to have to defend that title. Otherwise, he's going to get stripped for it. I don't know how he gets back in the ring because he got hurt pretty bad upstairs. I'm not sure. Where does Ryan go from here? I've always said, let's get Rolly in there. Let's do that. Rolly doesn't have a belt anymore. I believe he took an L and lost his title very recently. So he doesn't have a belt anymore, but you talk about mouths to feed and mouths that talk in the presser. Let's get Rolly in that motherfucker. I would love to see Rolly against Ryan Garcia. The trash talk would be epic. Rolly would kill him on the mic. I would love to see that one. And then on a side note, Broner, he says he can still make 140. I would like to see Broner against Ryan Garcia if he's game. I would love to see that fight. I think Broner, if Ryan can drop and stop Broner, even if he drops him, it's going to, propel his career. And I know people are like, Broner's washed. Yeah, but Broner still sells. He still sells. Don't kid yourself. And with Don King backing him now, Don King's apparently on the rise. Maybe Devin Haney goes that way. Maybe Devin Haney signs up with Don King to get back his rise. So anyway, major kudos to Ryan Garcia for that performance, even though there was some dirty tactics throughout the fight that I didn't care for. You got the W, you got your hand raised at the end of the day, and you beat a guy that very few people thought you could beat. Devin Haney essentially lost to a TikToker, as somebody said online. That's what happened. He lost to a TikToker. And visually, it was obvious that Devin was more skilled. I'm talking skill, talent. You can have guys that get W's and they're not really skilled. Clay Collard, Clay the eye test killer Collard. He's not more skilled than the people he beat. He beat 5 undefeated fighters. He wasn't more skilled than them. He was just an awkward thrower, and that's what it was. Darnell Boone was an awkward thrower, and so he was able to drop Adonis Stevenson, drop Kovalev, drop Ward, but he wasn't more skilled than those guys. He just was an awkward thrower. Sometimes the awkward throwers have their moment in the spotlight. Ryan Garcia is an awkward thrower. We saw it multiple times during this fight and in past ones. That's why I'm giving him his, quote, flowers, as the kids like to say, because it was a good performance for what it is. But Devin Haney was clearly more skilled than Ryan. Devin had the wrong damn game plan. If all he could think to do is just try to wear him down, he needed to be body assaulting. He needed to go forward. He needed to body attack. Even if he didn't have the power, he needed to body attack and evade the hooks. And I think something went wrong with whatever the game plan was. So we'll see where both guys go from here. It was a decently good fight. I don't think it was a pay-per-view fight, but it was a decently good fight. I think, and maybe they thought that Barboza would get replaced in because people don't think highly of Barboza. I think he's a great fighter, but they don't think highly of him. Maybe Haney thought that, Garcia was going to screw up and get pulled out and didn't think the fight was going to go forward, but he seemed pretty confident leading in, like extremely confident leading in. And then all the antics from Ryan, if those were the extreme level of mind games, he deserves a belt for mind games alone. I mean, who knows? Kudos to Ryan Garcia getting that thing done. I don't want to see a rematch with Tank, by the way. I want to see him in there with somebody else. And again, Ryan is essentially a welterweight at this point, so he needs to move up. He can't keep going in there outsizing dudes. You're just going to give an excuse. He needs to move up to welterweight. So if he does choose to move up to welterweight, the only fight I see at 147 that's kind of a step up for him a little bit, that would kind of tiptoe him into it, give him a shot to test the waters at 147. Blair Cobbs, who's about to fight Broner, so he's off the deck. Broner, who's off the deck, he's fighting Blair Cobbs, obviously. You know, maybe Crowley, maybe, but that feels like a boring fight. It feels like it's not gonna be that much fun. Stankonia, that would be a decently good fight. I'd be okay with that one. So, or Keith, you know, try to fight Keith if you can, but Keith seems like he wants to go up, so he may not be available. Either way, let's see what the future holds for these young guys.